Hello and welcome back. So it's now day 12 and I haven't recorded any videos over the past couple of days because I was fully immersing myself in the Ghee cleanse experience, and it was a little bit challenging at times, also made me very, very tired. So I just decided to not do anything else and just really be in the experience. So we're going to talk a lot about that today and what happened. But the Ghee is over now, thank God. The Ghee is now over. So let's talk about it. So on the first day, I told you that the Ghee was pretty manageable. I had a small amount, there was no issues, and throughout the day I felt pretty fine. The next day, my Ghee intake was double that, and I adopted the method of just trying to down it in one so that I wouldn't be grossed out by the taste, because it is quite potent, is kind of the wrong word. It's you couldn't even say it's an acquired taste because it's like nothing you've ever tasted before. It does have the tendency to kind of repeat on you. So my method was to hold my nose, down it as quickly as possible in one, and then hold my nose for a little while longer. Because as soon as you breathe in through the nose, you can taste it. This is when you generally start heaving. Some people are fine with it, others are not fine with it. I think I was like middle of the road, okay, so it wasn't too bad. And then the day after that, so I think the third day, I had a slightly larger amount again, so it was probably 3/4 of a cup. And then for the last 2 days, day 4 and 5, I had a full cup of Ghee. So I'll show you a picture of the cups of Ghee, the pictures that I took. There's definitely the full cup there. The full cup was hardcore. Again, I downed it in one on both days. I felt pretty proud of myself that I did that. It's quite interesting afterwards as well. They give you some cardamom seeds and you can chew on that to try and take the taste away. Doesn't really do much, to be honest, but So reflecting back on the experience, the first couple of days when you take the Ghee, well, when I took the Ghee, it would tend to repeat on you a little bit for quite some hours. Of course, you've got nothing else in your stomach, and if you burped, you would taste it and then you'd shudder. And it's funny talking to the other people that are here. We're all going through it. We've all got our own views on it, but we're all rooting for each other. So when someone's starting the Ghee, we're like, yeah, come on, you can do it, and we're trying to give some moral support. And when people have finished the Ghee, we're all like, yeah, we're really proud of you, because it's not really an easy experience. Just drinking the Ghee itself is quite challenging. So throughout the day it will tend to repeat on you until you get to around about lunchtime. And for me, the first 2 or 3 days I felt quite tired in the morning. I would have it, we have ginger water as well all throughout the day to help it digest. So I'd have it, and then I would come back to the room and I was so exhausted that I actually fell asleep on a few of the days, which you're not allowed to do, really. You're not meant to, because it confuses the digestion, but I could not keep my eyes open. Just off she goes. So naughtily I had a few morning sleeps, but what can you do? It is what it is. And then you're having your restricted food. This actually for me was quite tough. I'll put a few pictures here now of the food that you get throughout the day. So for lunchtime you're having that small bowl of soup and the small bits of vegetables, and then in the evening you're having a reduced evening meal as well. It's not the normal size. So I think calorie content you're having food wise, maybe 400 calories a day. And I did this for 5 days. Well, actually 6 when you include the last day where you have the purgitation. So yeah, that was quite challenging. I actually wasn't prepared for that in the food sense of things. So the hunger I found quite difficult, and I got known as the person who was always hungry. So, whenever the doctors asked me how I was, I'm hungry. Whenever anyone else who's here asked me how I was, well, I'm hungry, I'd always be the first person in the restaurant 5 minutes early, just like waiting for my food. Now, there is something nice that I've taken from that experience. So, of course, the quantity is very small and you're very hungry. So I was thinking I want to make this last as long as possible. Also, the ghee kind of makes you feel a little bit, I don't know, it changes your appetite in a sense. Well, you have an appetite, but then you start eating and it just feels a little bit odd or a little bit weird. So I was really taking my time with my food, and even like the small portions that you see in the photos, I was taking about half an hour to eat. And I was really tasting my food, being as mindful and as present as I could be with my food. And I was mainly doing that because I wanted to feel like it had lasted longer so that I felt more satisfied. Because quite quickly, after a couple of hours in the first couple of days, I would get very hungry again very quickly. And there were some nights where I couldn't sleep because I was so hungry. So yeah, it was a little bit tough on that front. But I'm definitely going to be taking that slower approach to eating with me. Even now I'm back onto the normal diet. I'm really trying to take my time and just be a lot more mindful with the pace that I'm eating. So Ayurveda teaches us this anyway. We should always eat slower. They actually say that you should try and chew each mouthful about 33 times, I think, which is it's really impossible because it just starts to disintegrate and then you need to swallow anyway. But maybe give that a go. And with no distraction as well. So you're just there present with your food. So that's really one positive thing that came from the ghee cleanse. Another thing to note is I have lost 3 kilograms. No surprise really when you're eating such low calories. So I'm very happy about that, because with the CFS over the past 4 or 5 years, I have been very limited of what exercise I can do. And therefore that has meant that all of the work that I did before I got sick in the gym just went out the window, and I wasn't as body confident as what I would have liked to have been. So my exercise was really limited and I couldn't maintain a weight that I felt happy with. So now I have lost the 3 kilograms. I feel pretty fantastic, and I brought some old clothes with me, actually, some old tops which fitted me when I was at my ideal weight, which is what I am now. And I tried them on yesterday and they fit me, and I'm very happy about that. So glad that that's gone. And so the final day of the ghee cleanse is the Virya, which is the purgitation. So the purgitation is basically you get given a laxative, which I have never taken before. It's a herbal laxative, of course, and no breakfast again, which I was a bit bummed out about, ready to eat by that point. And then you have to drink warm water, and then a few hours later you get given rice water, which you're also meant to drink throughout the day. So you just have to wait and let it do its thing. And it really did its thing with me. So I ended up having to have lunch in the room that day just to be on the safe side, because it did work a treat. And not only did it work physically, but it also brought up a lot of emotion for me. So after I had done my business many times, I was just started sobbing. All of this emotion came out, and I didn't even really have an idea as to why I was crying. I was just crying. So I felt like I released a lot, not just physically, but emotionally as well. And then on that day, you have a little bit more of a substantial meal. You have a rice porridge and then some lentils afterwards, which was so needed at that point. Just the substance of that meal was absolutely fantastic. And then after that, I felt bloody incredible. Literally felt like a new person. Felt like my whole insides had been cleaned out, and I had lots of energy, and there was a brightness and a lightness to me. And yeah, whilst the whole process of the 6 days had some challenging moments and some tricky times, I really enjoyed the whole thing, and I feel like I've got a lot of benefit from it already. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it went, and it wasn't overly taxing for me. And even in the moments of feeling discomfort, I still feel like I kept my cool and my calm, and I was able to kind of deal with it in the best way I possibly could. So yeah, really, really positive. So moving forwards now with the treatment, they start the internal medications. So I'm having some medicines to balance my Vata dosha and to help me with my chronic fatigue syndrome. So I'm taking quite a lot of decoctions, which is like fermented medicine. yeah, I'm taking them before breakfast, after breakfast, before dinner, after dinner. I sometimes have a liver cleanse before the lunchtime as well, and a few other capsules and things like that. So this will now continue for the foreseeable, and then moving forwards, I don't know how long this will continue, but I'm also having all of the other therapies as well every day. So I'm still getting the massages and all of the other Panchakarma treatments. I've had a few different ones over the past couple of days. I've had an eye wash, which was interesting. Not sure I'd like to do that one again because it is a bit weird and a bit uncomfortable. And then today, some much more gentle treatments. I have had a liquid mixture of milk and what I think was oil put all over my body. They use a jug with a hole in it, and then it pours a nice stream out, and then this is just run all over the body, which is really nice sensation, actually. Very interesting. My skin feels amazing, which is nice, as does my hair, because then this afternoon I had the one where they put it over your head, which was really kind of trippy. They cover your eyes and your ears, and then this bowl is above your head, again with a small hole in, and the same mixture is just going across the forehead or in zigzags, and it's warm as well, and it feels like when it pours down over your head, it feels like someone's like cradling your head like this. It's really something special, and pretty sure I went somewhere else when I had that treatment. It was really nice. So yeah, it's been eventful and interesting the past 5-6 days. I'm really enjoying the experience, and I feel pretty good, actually, and I've still got many days to go, so I'm not sure what else I'll have to report over the next few weeks, but I'll probably check in again in a couple of days, and we'll see where we go with this. So thanks for tuning in again, and see you next time.